So you know who else likes vintage gear is Troy.
Yeah.
Troy has he showed me this website where it's just all vintage clothes. So he comes up, he's just like starts pointing out things. He's like, yeah, these socks are brand new from the 50s. Like they were still in the package. I don't know where he finds this stuff, but it's pretty incredible. Are you vintage clothes kind of stuff?
Yeah.
What about the dress?
So the dress is not vintage. The
Okay.
dress I got online just because I just like it. But
Just has that vintage look to it.
I would say about 70% of my closet is vintage or yard sale or thrift store finds.
Awesome.
Troy was sitting over here a couple days ago, not in here, but he was sending me some footage, and he had these really nice jeans on. And I was like, dude, where'd you get those jeans? He's like, oh, yeah, these jeans are like pre-made from like before they were being made in this country, and they're like 16 ounces. And he's like rolling it up, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, those just fit so well. He's like, yeah. You could get like a pair, like
it's like they were made.
They'll set you back like $300. I'm like,
I'll
stick to the Levi's.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He's always eyeballing my Pink Floyd shirts, my early 90s Pink Floyd
Oh, yeah.
shirts. He's on that.
Yeah, those are dope.
I think the coolest thing I have is I got a pair of jeans, and they got like the leather lace up the front of the legs.
Ooh.
And they were from a lady who wore them at Woodstock.
No
And I got them
way.
for $5.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That's so sick.
But yeah, I think that's probably the coolest thing I got.
Yeah.
So Sandra, a proper introduction, I guess, for everyone. We just hopped into vintage clothing.
Right.
But why don't you tell us a little bit about what you have going on? Do you have any shows coming up? So we can just plug those right out of the gate.
Yeah, so I play at Homer Hop's May. Wow, I should probably have like written these down.
That's okay.
It's Friday, the second Friday in May, so in a couple weeks.
We can always go back and throw it in the description as well. So
Yeah.
anything that you forget, we can just toss it in.
Yeah,
Make
I
sure you
got
follow
like
her
4 or
so
5
you can
shows
see all
next
the
month,
events that
so,
are coming
yeah.
up, you know?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot in, so dates are hard for me to remember, but they'll all be on Facebook.
It's a good problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we'll
guess,
have,
yeah,
we'll have
that
the
would be
socials
good.
and stuff linked down below. So cool. And like and subscribe, guys.
Yeah.
Got to do that out of the gate.
Great. Yeah. So how long have you been playing?
I started playing guitar when I was 7, but I didn't start playing out and actually doing it for money, I guess, until 2019.
Wow. it's
Right
pretty soon.
before COVID.
Rough time. Yeah.
So, like, I played my first show a month before COVID. And then, so we got shut
Oh,
down.
no.
So I played one show, and then we got shut down. And then I was doing
goodness.
shows
Yeah,
from
I
my
can
house.
reminisce with that, yeah.
And just doing, like, Facebook Live shows in my apartment alone
way to
because
go.
I was bored. And then once things started opening up again, I was friends with a lot of people that owned bars. And so they just got me right in because I was a solo artist. I had a very small square footprint that they can get shoved in a corner, and they can have live music and have social distance and stuff still. So
And where was this?
this was in Ithaca.
Okay.
So I was living in Ithaca for 4 years. And then I just moved down here. I was living in the bus for a year, and then I moved down here officially, I guess, 4 or 5 months ago.
Let's go talk about the bus.
Rewind,
Let me just glance over
rewind.
that.
So I got a 26-foot school bus, and me and my husband, we converted the whole bus ourselves. It's got a bathroom with a shower. It has hookups we had a little mini portable washing machine we were going to put in there. The animals ended up taking more room than we thought, but it's got hookups for a washing machine. It's got 2 giant dog kennels under our queen-size bed.
That's so awesome.
Apartment-sized fridge in there. It's got pretty much everything except for a stove.
That's incredible. So just a couple pups?
2 dogs, yeah.
That's so. What kind of dogs?
They're both mutts. One is like a giant white Pomeranian. We don't really know what his breed
A
is.
giant white
But he's
Pomer-
50 pounds, and he's a giant Pomeranian. He yips like a Pomeranian, too. He doesn't have like a big boy bark.
Mhm.
And then my girl, I love her. She's a Shepherd Lab Border Collie mix. And she's just a wiggly love bug.
Aw.
She's adorable. And they both do relatively well in the bus. They were both rescues, so they had social anxiety they had to get over. But
So why did you go down that route?
well, so I tried to buy a house back in 2019, and then I got injured and I got a concussion, and they took away my driver's license for 8 months. The job I had fired me because driving was part of my job description. And so because they fired me and I was put on workers' compensation, they pulled my mortgage. And then me and my husband tried to buy a house 2 years later, and his boss never filled out the verification forms or whatever. And so we got shut down there. And then I had money left over from the workers' comp settlement, and I didn't want to be renting an apartment anymore. So we just started looking at the bus stuff, and he said that he was interested in it. So I went out and bought a bus, and I was like, here, let's do this.
So you just came back home one day and you got a bus out there.
Well, yeah, I was talking to him about it, and then I showed him a picture of it, and then I went to go look at it, and he knew I went to go look at it, and then I kind of just gave the guy the money.
And what was the process of getting into moving in? Was it fully building it and moving in, or kind of a process of living in the bus, building it?
Yeah, I was super anxious. So I was living in an apartment until we got the floor in. Once we got the floor in, I was out of my apartment, and it was parked behind his dad's house, and that's where we're parked for now. But yeah, so we would stay down at the main house because this was winter. Yeah. So it was February and freezing, and it was really hard winter that year too. And so we were staying down at the main house, and we'd come back up at 7 o'clock in the morning, work until midnight, and then go back down to the house.
Man. What do you do for insulation in that?
So we have foam insulation on the walls and the ceiling and underneath the floor. And then we have a little diesel heater, which just pumps out
works well.
Heat, yeah.
Nice.
It gets stupid hot in there on low.
That's pretty
a good
cool.
thing,
Yeah.
It's funny, and the reason why I really ask is because Lex and I have definitely talked about it from the very out of the gate. We were like, we would love to travel. We would love to do something like that. Moses and I have talked about going on road trips and stuff. It would just be cool to have one.
Yeah.
I've got to show you later. Last week we started working on my van. Just very basic, but a bed and a little table and a little sink in there.
Yeah.
Just to get going. For some festivals, because I'm going to be playing Shakori Hills Grassroots in May, and then Trumansburg in July. So just have something on wheels, bet on wheels pretty much. And also hauling my gear around.
Honestly, the vans or stuff like that, that's actually a better way to go, or getting a vintage camper and redoing the inside. Because school bus insurance is almost impossible to get now.
What?
That's the reason we're not still on the road.
Well, my biggest question, because I think with the school bus, especially me having a family and there's so much space, everybody's got a little bit of room and can have a bed, but getting around in maintenance just sounds like it's going to be a lot. Did you?
We did an oil change in a state park in the middle of Albany. Wow. So yeah,
Did you ever take it way out?
We went up to Albany. We went down to Delaware, and that's pretty much where we went. Okay. We kept running into issues with insurance companies dropping us because they said, you're in a school bus, it's a liability. We're not going to continue with this.
Because were you getting homeowners or?
Just school bus insurance. We didn't want any coverage on if the bus blew up, we're not really worried about our stuff,
Okay.
Yeah.
That just it is what it is. We have to have insurance to be on the road. That's right. What.
So
bare minimum what we were looking for, and we couldn't find anybody just to give us the bare minimum.
It's crazy to me with all of the RVs and stuff that are out that it would be that big of an issue. The fact that they just let people drive, or you don't even need a special license, you don't need a Class A, you don't need any kind of license just to go and buy an RV.
No,
you need nothing.
It's a lot of money.
But to drive some of those DOT work trucks and stuff like that really aren't even that big. Definitely not as big as an RV. You need a special license. I'm sure a special kind of insurance and everything. But that really is interesting, I think, with a school bus. I feel like after it's out of service, they should just be okay, this is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what's the bus doing these days?
So we're still living in it. We're living behind my father-in-law's house, and we're just saving up money to buy a house. Okay. We're ready to get a plot of land, and I want to build my own little studio and stuff like that, and be able to have a place that's not in the bus with the whining, annoying dogs that I can zone into my music. Nice. It's hard to focus in there.
So what is your kind of recording? Do you have a recording set up at all in the bus?
No.
No? You just kind of...
I can't. The
What do
dogs are well. I have
okay.
a cat and the 2 dogs, so either the dogs are loud, or if I have them on the lead, you can hear the lead going
Gotcha.
outside and stuff like that. They're never quiet.
So if you want to record music, where do you go?
I go to my friend's winery up in Locke, just north of Ithaca. I'm super close to them. They've been super supportive of like my music and everything. They're musicians too. It's Chateau de Sceaux in Locke. If you are looking for a winery, it's fantastic. You should go and get the Save All Blanc. It's the best. But they're just super dope people. They're down to earth and
You said this was Ithaca?
it just north of Ithaca.
Yeah, it's Ithaca people.
Yeah.
Ithaca people are all about it.
Ithaca natives. Well,
Yeah.
outskirts Ithaca natives, I should
Yeah.
say.
You talk very highly of Ithaca and all of the places that you play out there.
Well, I haven't been able to play a lot of places yet, but it's definitely somewhere I'd like to play more. And I just think it's just a really nice scene. I get to play at the Deep Dive with Kid Bass last year, and just the way they're running that place, it just goes back to what we were talking about last time about like really good mindsets with the business owners appreciating the music that's coming in. And because of that, they've been able to, in a short period of time, have like crazy acts there. Like for instance, who was it? Ghost Note played there, which is like Mono Neon. He's just a crazy bass player. Was down there, like right here in Ithaca.
Does Donna play there?
I'm sure they may, but I don't think they have.
You said that Donna would play in a smaller place in Ithaca. What was the name of that?
Was it the Dock?
Maybe.
So the Deep Dive, I believe, is used to be the Dock, maybe because it's
Okay,
like right
that's
there.
what I was thinking, but I wasn't
Yeah.
sure yet because
Yeah.
the dock closed.
Yeah, because I
and-
don't know Ithaca like that, so like I'm thinking that's what it was because it's new.
I haven't been to Ithaca in a while. That's why
Yeah.
I knew the dock closed, but I wasn't sure if something else opened up there. So it probably is.
Yeah, it's cool space. You walk in, it's like really open.
And there's that
Bar.
giant dock on the back.
Yep, you
yeah.
walk outside.
Yeah,
and
so
it's a
that's
big
the
dock.
dock.
Yeah,
Ithaca is one of my favorite places. In fact, when I got into my accident, I was on my way to a graduation party in Ithaca.
Right.
I had taken that first Owego exit, and I ended up crashing right there. But my aunt has lived out there for probably 10 years now at this point. She has a couple houses out there as well. It's just an awesome place to be. Great. And I hate calling it a bar scene because I don't know, that just seems very infantile, but it is a great bar scene. It's entertainment.
Entertainment scene, yeah.
Exactly. And like you said, there's always music as well.
because there's all the wineries too.
And breweries and
Yes, you can't just say bars.
distilleries.
It's just the alcohol scene is what you
Cideries.
say.
Yeah, but awesome entertainment scene because a lot of those places are supporting local music, original music, and that's what makes them special.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even some of the spaces around here, like the North Brew.
Can we talk about your show last night
Oh, yeah, that was
with
a lot
Kid
of fun.
Bass at the North Brew?
That was a great time.
That was I've been watching Moses play since middle school. I've never seen Moses so in the zone. It sounded so good, and I'm going to embarrass the hell out of him right now, but I do not care. He's so good. So good. You sounded great, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Really good.
It's fun. We've been working hard together, and I think just in a short period of time, we've been able to play certain shows that have kind of put us in situations where we need to ramp up. You know, we've done some recording as well, so like we're constantly like playing some of these songs over and over and over again, and because of that, that awareness is there. So even though sometimes if we're together for a few hours, we only get through a couple songs, when we're live and we're playing all of the songs, that foundation is there, where we know where to go. And I like the dynamics of it.
Yeah.
And that's really what I enjoy.
And like you said, that energy is really coming up.
Yeah.
Because I guess anytime that I've seen Kid Bass, it's not that it's like slower music or laid back music, but some of it is.
Yeah.
But this show was different. You guys were jamming out.
Yeah. When I first started playing with Bess again in like 2021, kind of like summertime, we were just kind of hanging out, playing at this Italian restaurant in like Shenango Bridge area.
I remember that.
A Tavolo. Shout out. A Tavolo. And we'd go out there and jam, and I was usually playing just like on a cajon. So just like real low, mellow, nothing too crazy. And now like playing on the full kit with the electric guitar and the bass player. Now it's just like it's a real electric thing.
I'm sure she's so happy too, because it's like to take that step from a cajon show to what I saw last night is probably it's amazing how versatile you are.
Yeah,
amazing.
You. I appreciate that.
Very cool. So
enough about me.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Sandra over here.
Sandra. So what future wise, music wise, where do you want to go?
I would really love to get into the festival scene. Like my goal, if I could, because my husband does auto body work, and obviously it's more in the winter. So it'd be nice if we could be here in the winter and then out doing festivals all summer. Mm-hmm. Like that would be the ideal, I guess.
A dream right there too.
He can't work from home with that job?
With auto body technician? No, I don't know. Not a lot of jobs open for that.
No.
Limited quantity.
So, do you have anything out right now as far as music?
Yeah, I got a few albums on like Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much anything you can stream music on. They're on there. My last album just came out October, November. And that one's got about 5 songs. I got a couple songs recorded, but I don't have enough to put out right now, but that will be coming soon.
And then this material you recorded at the
winery.
Yeah.
Awesome. And also the last album, Stress, is recorded at the winery as well.
Very cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. So great. Yeah, you've already got some material out there. Yeah, I mean, one thing that we're liking to do here is like also help people with creating some material, and having a bit of, in a way like a music video. This is kind of what we're doing.
Yeah,
I've never done a music video. That'd be awesome.
Well, it's hard to get
It's
hard to get content, especially when you're in, like let's say you're in a band. It's hard to, schedule 5 people, get them all in tune, and then get camera guys, get audio guys, and a lot of times what you end up doing is just using your pre-recorded audio, and it's just not the same. When you come up here, it's so raw. It's just really, really cool. And you get to kind of change it up a little bit. You can make it vibey, you do whatever you want. But it is hard to get good, solid content, and that's kind of what we had saw. So that's why we wanted to do this.
Yeah, it's fear of the unknown. It's so intimidating.
Yeah.
Like a year ago, we didn't even have a microphone or XLR cables, and now we have like everything. We got everything we need to record a 6-piece band in here, and to be able to share that with other people is big for us, because that was our struggle. It's like, we want to create a video and have audio over it that sounds good, not just like your phone audio, and it's tough. And even just uploading a video on YouTube is tough. So to take that away from some of the local artists around here, it takes a lot of time. And when you're focusing, especially now, it's gig season. So right now the focus is like booking gigs.
Yeah.
And when you're not booking gigs, you're focusing on writing and recording.
Yeah.
So to add in this part of really what's considered the norm, everybody needs to have an electronic press kit, and a video and a little bit of an album.
Yeah, because it's like if you want to book a gig and they'll be like, send me your stuff, then you're like,
I want to see a video of you.
Yeah, I have. At that point, you have like nothing that's. At least with me, I always get real anxious with sending stuff, but because it's hard to get good quality sounding stuff.
Yeah.
And that's our main goal here, is just to provide that for the community.
Yeah.
That's why we call it our friends.
Yeah.
Do it for our friends.
It's all for our friends. And our friends are helping us out by coming here and, being amazing musicians.
Our friends have been so supportive with this. Like, I cannot tell you how unbelievable people have been just for free, just coming out, giving us their time, helping us with editing. It's been really, really cool. Humbling experience for sure. But that just goes to show that the idea and its root is a pretty awesome idea, I think.
Yeah. Every step of the process, I think, is understanding that it's not going to stay the same, and that's kind of how we run. Like whatever we're doing, we're always thinking about like how do we take it somewhere else, and that's how this became. Like I think even the open mic was really we just wanted to jam together.
Yeah, we lost.
That's how the best ones start.
Yeah, we lost Callahan's, so we're like, what are we gonna do on Wednesdays, man?
We couldn't jam here. We couldn't jam at your place, so it was like, let's talk to Irish Kevin's and see what's going on. And then eventually, it kind of became this, where all of those musicians that we've been able to meet, like yourself, right? We would have never met you if it wasn't for that open mic. Get to work with them because, let's face it, starting a band is like so exhausting. Like getting everybody together,
learning 40 songs,
right? Booking gigs,
finding people that are like-minded,
right? And reliable.
That's really hard. Yeah.
Musicians are not always reliable.
No.
I know.
It's really hard to meet musicians in this area specifically that I found. I don't know how accurate that is, but in Ithaca, it was just so easy to meet musicians because the same musicians would go to every single open mic, so you would see them 4 times a week if you went to the open mic circuit or whatever. And it was just easy to get together and jam with those people, and they're all Ithacans, so they're all pretty like-minded.
Yeah.
But here, there's so many different people, and there's so many more rugged musicians.
So because there's something in the water. They can play. They can play.
They're
so
dirty.
Binghamton's great too. But.
Yeah. Well,
I've never been to a jam session in Binghamton or anything. This is the closest thing for a music thing. Well, I mean closest thing. This is a music thing. This is the first thing I'm doing in the area other than open mics. So
what we're trying to create is more events. We're always looking for different places that we could possibly host an event, and like you use the open mic circuit. That's what I would love to see. Yeah. Because you do see it gets a little cliquey sometimes, and that's what we're trying to breach. We're trying to get people out of the clique. If you're, an R&B or rap artist, there's no reason why you can't come in and play with us and create something awesome. Like Edge and Baby Lou.
Oh, yeah, they kill it.
Unbelievable. They I remember them reaching out to me to get some like guitar ideas. They just wanted it on a track. And it had popped into their head, and they just did exactly that. They went out to an open mic to meet guitar players. There's no reason why you can't incorporate a bunch of different things.
Well, they just did the festival yesterday, MoFest. Oh, yes. And they're linked up with this group Manila, who are just an amazing group of
super
musicians.
young, and they're just...
I know Manila.
Yeah. So you've got like the Manila guitarist, keyboardist, bass player, drummer with Edge and Baby Lou rapping. It's...
What a set.
Yeah. And that's how you bridge up those gaps and you work together. The best open mics were when you'd have some rappers there, you'd have like Carmela doing some track stuff, you'd have like a singer-songwriter come in like you, a crazy jam with like some covers, somebody with a fiddle, you know what I mean? Just a bunch of different, like variety show, you know? Not just a bunch of the same kind of acts.
Yeah, like music festival vibe. I love going to music festivals, and then all of a sudden, like, bands from every stage are all of a sudden on one stage, and they're all just jamming out to a classic song, and like that's dope. When there's like 9 different singers, and they all have different voices, and they're all doing harmonies with each other, impromptu. That's just awesome.
And that's a big goal for us, is to get to a point where we feel comfortable in doing that, like throwing a festival, not like just a concert or something like that. There's no reason. So cool. My mom's a deputy county executive here, and I talk to her all the time just about Otsego Park. Otsego Park is the perfect place to have a festival. So we have like the Speedy Fest, which is basically one stage and then, a bunch of other vendors around. But I mean, Moses is a huge proponent to this too. There's no reason why we can't have 4 or 5 stages inside of Otsego Park doing all sorts of different stuff. There's the spaces there. It's just getting people who understand how to, I guess, navigate all the red tape involved with doing something on, government property, and just breaching that. I would love to meet some of the people who put on Grassroots, because I don't think that's a private property, is it?
No, it's
that's the fairgrounds.
Yeah. So it's like, why can't you do that?
Yeah.
Why can't we do that? And I mean, Binghamton is the intersection. If you want to go anywhere in New York, upstate wise, if you're downstate or even in Pennsylvania, you have to go through Binghamton. We are just that is what Binghamton has always been known for. The rivers intersect, the highways intersect.
And if you look at the festivals near that by, there's festivals at Montage, which is Scranton, which is like an hour away, and then there's Mountain Jam and all that goes on at Bethel, and then you have Grassroots and all the stuff that goes on in Ithaca. We're kind of centrally located, so the people that do go around to all the festivals every summer and every week they're at a different festival, this would just be another stop along the way.
Yeah, and like with the right acts, people will pull up. You know,
Oh, yeah.
they will pull up in the masses. The thing is, right now, the struggle is you have all this amazing local talent, and they have great supporters. I mean, the love and support and community in Binghamton is so amazing. Broome County, Johnson City, Vestal, there's so much great support. But there's nowhere for a regional act to play. And if there's nowhere for that regional act to play, then there's nowhere for that local band to open for, right? Because that regional act isn't just going to bring in the Binghamton, Johnson City, Broome County people. They're going to bring in the Syracuse people, the Ithaca people, the Corning. Everybody's going to come out for that. So if there's a festival here that has some of those bigger acts, then it gives a chance for all of these great local acts to also share the bill and perform in front of the masses like they should be.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why we're doing this, is because there's not really a music venue for us local artists, and there's little spots, little corners and cubby holes, right? But there's no stage and the sound and lighting, right? We're hauling all that gear and we're learning how to use it. So to be able to do that would be great. We use an example. We go to Ransom Steel, and I usually see it around like Jeff Howard and Nate Calzatoni. They put together these awesome projects with these crazy musicians. Then you go there, there's like nobody there, and it's like, does anybody realize like how much talent is in here and how like tight these people are?
It's like we've gone to shows where Randy McStein, who plays at sold out shows at Radio City,
touring with Porcupine Tree.
The fact that there was how many, like 15 people there. Granted, there was I think a snowstorm or something like that. It really didn't snow all that much, but still, there's no reason why that place isn't packed all the time.
I think it's just because of the location, honestly. Because even Driftwood, was I think only a third full.
I don't know.
Driftwood
when I saw them,
packs the house.
Yeah, when I saw them in 21, I think it was. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I just saw them this past year, and there was like hardly anybody there. It's crazy.
With Kid Best, we opened for Dawn of the Buffalo in January, and that was packed. Like nuts in there. Yeah, and that was really fun. Question I have got to ask for you: are you playing any shows like in like this area in Binghamton?
Yeah, I play at Stu's.
Okay.
That's gonna be in July, I believe, and then I'm playing at the Waterman, at the end of May.
Okay.
The Waterman Distillery.
Oh yes.
Well, it's now the cafe and lounge.
I'm sure like the North Brew would love you.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they do like a Thursday night songwriter series there.
Is that once a month?
Once a month. I'll have to talk to Josh and maybe get you his info. So getting some more shows playing around this area too. Some of the people watching could come out and see you.
They'd love you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've played at the Ransom, but I think I'm a little calmer for that crowd. Honestly, I don't know if the Ransom's really my vibe for my music. I'm actually open to being in a band or whatever, and if I was in a band, that might be a venue I'd look into again. But I haven't found people that have the vibe, I guess, that I'm looking for. But
what are you looking for exactly?
I would like something more upbeat than what I do, because I do more mellow folk stuff. But I like the blues, Susan Tedeschi kind of style, I guess. Is kind of the vibe I would like. My
uncle is probably I've never met someone who has seen the Tedeschi Trucks band more than he has. Every time I see him on Instagram, it's usually a show. It's incredible. Her husband is so unbelievable. I cannot believe how good he is at slide. Have you ever seen him when he was like 13? Oh my God. He's like one of the best slide guitar players alive at 13. Like, he's unbelievable. I don't know. I love that stuff.
That's awesome.
All right. Sorry about that. Our camera ran out of time. It's all right. It's a little bit of a longer podcast. But no, I was just saying how great it is to have you here. Because, I mean, the whole point of us doing the podcast was really to talk to our friends and get to know you more than just, you know, the player on stage or what we listen to, you know, on the radio or on Spotify. Getting to know you a little bit better, because it could be a little intimidating, you know. Somebody sees you crush it on stage. I mean, you brought it down at open mic, and it's like, you know, some people don't even want to perform after that. They're like, I don't even know I want to sing anymore. I'm going to have to cross my name off. So it's really important for us to do this, and to get, not only for us to get to know you better, but for other people, maybe some people that are looking to book you, or some musicians that want to network with you.
Yes,
Right.
please network. Please network. I'm not actually intimidating. I'm very kind.
Yes, don't let the jockey hat scare you.
Yeah.
But no. So, I mean, we want to...
Yeah, do you want to just plug your stuff again? And that way
Yeah.
we can make sure we got all that.
Yeah,
Yep,
just so everybody knows where to follow you.
My Facebook is Sandra Esparza, and we'll have the spelling down below. And on Instagram, you can find me at SandraBlues96, and you can see all my stuff on my website at chasingsunflowers.life.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Let's like, subscribe. Make sure you do that, and definitely hit all of our socials up. All right?
All right, sounds great.
Cool. See you next time.
All right, perfect. All right, so we'll clip that up however we need to.